This is former Indiana basketball player Brian Evans, and you're listening to Indiana Sports Beat with Jim Coyle.
Today's guest is brought to you by Reynolds Family Dentistry of Sellersburg. You need $1 million smile for those championship photos, and that's exactly what you'll get with Reynolds Family Dentistry.
So much to do, so much to see, so what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know.
But Zach Kiefer is going to join us here in a second. I think he's joining us now from the Indianapolis Star. Todd, longtime friend of yours. You've known him for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, go ahead and take the lead, man.
Yeah,
Zach, welcome in, brother.
How you doing, buddy?
How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're, when we're had Kravitz on yesterday, and I really wanted to get the upper echelon people at the Athletics. So I knew once we had Kravitz on, we had to go one tier above him and get you on.
I just start with Kravitz then.
Yeah, good point. I started at the bottom, so anyone I got would be better.
Well, we had Dustin on last week. Dustin took Todd's place all last week too. Dustin Apiric, formerly of the Athletics. So we've wiped out the entire athletic staff, I think.
Well, there's always good to stay in all of it, but that's the rundown.
Yep, no doubt. Hey, so we're mainly, we mainly talk IU sports and stuff like that. We've been talking a lot about IU football and stuff in that regard. But when it comes to the Colts, obviously the main story, Phillip Rivers coming in. Give us an inside scoop on what's going on in the quarterback locker room or what we're looking at.
Well, the thing about Phillip Rivers is he's like, 85 years old? Everyone knows this.
Did you say 105?
Yeah, seriously.
No, that's Tom Brady. Rivers is only 85. The thing with Rivers is he doesn't have to be the savior, right? He doesn't have to come in and be an MVP quarterback. He doesn't have to be Drew Brees or the top 2 or 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the league, right? They just need him to be like above average, right? They just need him to be better than Jacoby Brissett was last year. They don't need him to be 50 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. They just need better. They need not even Pro Bowl level. So that's the thing. That's what they're banking this whole season on because they added a lot of pieces around him. This isn't just about Phillip Rivers. They had Michael Pittman Jr. at receiver, and they had Jonathan Taylor at running back, and they've got a lot of help, right? So they're going to help Phillip Rivers a lot more than he had in San Diego and LA. And this is going to be the best offensive line he's played behind in probably 10 years, and that matters a lot. That was a huge reason why he signed here. So I don't think you're going to see like an MVP season for Phillip Rivers, but I think you're going to see, a big step up in the quarterback room, and that's going to change everything for this team because they just couldn't run the offense they wanted to last year with Jacoby Brissett.
When you say that, though, when you say they need the Colts themselves, I get that. I agree with it 100%. I think most people do. But is Phillip Rivers okay with that? Do you think he'll be okay with that at this point in his career, not being the guy they talk about at the end of every game, not throwing for 350 yards in a game?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He loves Frank Reich. He played with him in San Diego. Frank Reich was his OC. He loves Nick Sirianni, his quarterback's coach back then. He's good with all that. He's done all that. And this is not an easy thing, right? He's coming into a locker room as the new guy, the new quarterback with the big fat contract, right? $25 million for 1 year. That's good money. And the players in the locker room, believe me, they pay attention to that. They know how much this guy's making, and they all love Jacoby Brissett. As poorly as Jacoby played at the end of the season, Jacoby's still their guy. They still love this guy. He's a great teammate. There's a reason they kept him on the roster when they could have traded him and let him go somewhere else. They value him as a player on this team and as a leader. He was a team captain last year, not by accident. So that's not an easy thing to step into if you're Phillip Rivers. You're taking that guy's role. And to be honest, those two got really close. The teammates have really, really come to welcome Phillip Rivers, and it's a credit to him. It's credit to the locker room. But that process could have gone much worse, and it was very smooth. And I think that's a big deal in terms of this team accepting Phillip Rivers and what he's walking into. And I think he absolutely knows that he's not going to be Peyton Manning in 2004 out there. He's not going to be the guy lighting up the league. But if they win 11 games, he's going to be pretty dang happy.
Well, he's got an opportunity because now we're in this weird situation of COVID-19. It's going to change. I've been talking about this a lot with college football. And as a matter of fact, we were just talking about it, Zach, that Michigan had announced they're not going to have fans, and Indiana plays at Michigan. And I'm like, that changes the entire dynamic. But the NFL, we don't know what they're going to be doing. And while it does have an effect in the NFL, it's not as much unless you're going to Seattle or something.
Yeah, I can't think of a sport where fans are more important in college basketball, college football. I don't know if you guys agree, but it's important in the NFL. But look, it's not do or die. I don't feel like it. This might help the away team, right? You're going to be able to call those dummy calls and make audibles a little bit easier. It's going to be fascinating to see, but. Look, it's going to be. Training camp's going to be with no fans. We're going to be the only ones out there watching, and then I don't even know if they're going to have a preseason, and then an NFL stadium with maybe 15,000 fans, maybe less. It's going to be absolutely bizarre. But if there's games, I think everybody will be happy, and at least we'll have football back.
Yeah, last night we had NASCAR had an all-star race at Bristol, Tennessee, and it was the first major sporting event back with spectators. They had 30,000 people, but Bristol holds 160,000, so they were able to spread them out pretty good. But it's going to be interesting to see what that's like. It doesn't matter if you have people there; it doesn't take a lot of people to make some noise, at least.
Yeah, I think the biggest gauge will be the Indy 500, right? Scheduled for late August, and it's the single largest sporting event in the world every year. It's 300,000 plus, and I think they're going to have a quarter of that this year, which is still 125,000 people, which is still a huge risk during COVID. But that's an event with it creates its own sound, and everyone knows that sound, but. It's going to be fascinating. And I think you're right. I think you get 15,000 people in a stadium. And predominantly, most of them are fans of the home team. I think they'll be able to make some noise. It's not going to be the same, but I think they'll make some noise.
Wait. We still got him? Make sure we didn't lose Zach there, talking about crowds. And Zach still with us? Okay, I didn't make sure. Todd, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't tell if we lost him or not. But when you look at, I read also your story about Jonathan Taylor and the running back. I think a lot of Indiana fans are familiar with coming in from Wisconsin. What kind of impact do you think he'll have in a rookie season?
Yeah, this kid's for real. You ever talk to a young kid, whether a college kid or a rookie, and just kind of know that he's just going to do big things? He just has that head on his shoulders. He's just mature. He gets it. That was my takeaway with Jonathan Taylor. Every time I talk to him, I just think this kid understands what's up. We heard a story of him at Wisconsin where he had 1,000-yard season after 1,000-yard season. He was a star there. They got back from a road trip. They won a close game. All the teammates of his go out and party, right? They have, probably one night a week they go out and party. It's pretty much typical what college kids do. And Jonathan Taylor goes straight to the football facility and ices his legs because he knows how he's going to feel on Sunday and Monday when they get back to practice. So they love this kid in Wisconsin, and I think Colts fans are going to love him too. I think he's the real deal. I think he's a complete back, and I think he's going to make Marlon Mack a lot better too. And you don't draft a running back in the second round unless you know he's going to be legit. This kid's going to be legit.
Yeah, Indianapolis has always been at their best when they have that name running back, that guy that can really help, whether it's been the edge or whoever we're talking about through the years. But you've got to have that guy, and I agree with you. He's a solid kid. He comes from a solid program at Wisconsin. He's always performed when hurt. I'm looking forward to seeing him play, Todd. Yeah,
no doubt. This kid, when they drafted him, I was super excited because it did what you said. I think it puts Marlon Mack in a position where he can kind of lead him a little bit, and that kind of two-headed monster you've got at running back makes Phillip Rivers' job, I don't want to say easier, but he's got somebody to hand the ball off to with that offensive line, and it's just exciting. That's why I was super excited to have you on, Zach, because I know the Colts are. They're a big part of Indianapolis sports, and I can't be more excited about that season coming up.
Zach, what's coming up next for you? I know you got to get going here. What can we expect next out of you?
Yeah, we're going to get going on Monday. Vacation's over. Training's going to start in a couple of weeks. And like you guys were just saying, the shame with all of this is all this COVID talk of training camp and getting tested and all this is the Colts had a really good offseason, and I think they're going to be a pretty good team. I might put them in the group right behind Baltimore and Kansas City in the AFC. And, it's hard for me to think of another team that had a better offseason in this conference. They're going to be a dang good football team this year, and I think fans are going to really enjoy watching them. The shame of it is no one's talking about this. No one's talking about football. No one's talking about DeForest Buckner or Phillip Rivers or any of that because of the COVID distraction. So if there is football, and I think there will be, it might be delayed a little bit, but when we get to actually watch some pretty real football, Colts going to be pretty good. So it's going to be a pretty fun season.
I agree with you, man. Zach, I cannot thank you enough for taking time to join us. Look forward to doing it again, especially as we get closer to the NFL season come along. But go out and have a great day. Appreciate you, and have a great weekend.
Thanks for having me, guys.
This is Jim Coyle from Indiana Sports Beat with Coyle and Leary. Indiana Sports Beat is now a part of the Rivals Network. You can go to thehoosier.com to sign up. It's free. Catch the show there each day live or at your convenience. You can also like or follow us on Facebook, follow the show's rebroadcast anywhere you podcast. If we're not on a radio station where you live, we should be. Let your local station know they need to carry Indiana Sports Beat with Coyle and Leary, or simply go to thehoosier.com.